over here with the 4Runner, and I'm about to start pulling the engine apart and taking both the heads off. I'm not sure how far I'll get today. I'm not gonna record too much of it. Just kind of, this is just letting y'all guys know what's up. This spark plug came out of the 3rd cylinder right there, or that's what came out. I knew it was cross-threaded. I knew something was wrong because I first got this thing. I think before I even put a tag on it, I changed the spark plugs out. And for some reason, I did this one last, my luck. And when I got to it, it was way too tight. I even put a 1/2-inch ratchet on it, and it's like, yeah, it ain't working. So I just let it be for a while. When I bought a like a thread saver kit to tap the hole and sleeve it if it was cross-thread or whatever. And then when I went to remove the plug, that's what happened. And some people, I already see the comments, are going to say you can just use an easy out. I tried an easy out on it, a good easy out. And I put it in there. It grabbed great, perfect. Had a 1/2-inch ratchet with about 1.5 to 2 foot extension. And it was going to break the easy out. It was flexing, the 2 foot extension was flexing about 3 inches, but nothing was turning. So it was just actually twisting the easy out. So I had to remove that. I figured it's not going to pull the thing out, so might as well not break the easy out in there as well, make more issues. Now I'm just going to kind of update y'all as I pull this motor apart, and if there's any pointers, I'll stick them out. But we'll see how far I get today. But don't worry, guys, there's still other things going on in the 4Runner. For one, I painted this trim pieces, still got to do the other side, and also I did window tint on the front 2 windows. So the 4Runner is not on the back burner by any means. I've actually done more to it since it's been broke down than the rest of the vehicles. But we'll get it back on the road soon, hopefully. The only thing I've already done was got my down there on the harmonic balancer down here. You can't see it, there's a little notch in the pulley. It won't even focus. Anyway, there's a 0 degree mark, and there's a mark on the pulley. Got that lined up. Got our top timing lined up, and I marked the belt. I'm going to try to, because you have to pull the gears off and pull the cams out and pull the heads off. I'm going to try to keep the bottom belt. I'm going to try to use a clamp and keep it from slipping a gear at the bottom. So when I put it back on, it'll just be right up here. And if I do mess up, that's why the marks are on the belt, so I can get them right. And if I just completely screw it up, you know, you just have to start from scratch and fix the belt. This is a brand new timing belt. It had just been put on when I bought it. It had never even been driven after I bought it. After I bought this 4Runner, the guy I bought from just put that on there. I've known him personally. I actually helped him do it a little bit. So I just want to mention that, even though I don't think we're getting nowhere near anything to do with the timing today, but I was just going to mention that. And first things, unhook your battery so nobody turns the motor over and gets your timing off. 30 minutes later, our power steering pump's off and the bracket, our alternator's off, and our water pump housing with the pulley that has your fan bearing in it. That is off now, and now we're going to start pulling the plenum and the intake. 12:30, here we are, looking at the cams. I got one of these valve covers off. Everything looks pretty clean inside of here, and I'll show you something to remove these cams out of here. First of all, this is like a spring-loaded. You can see there's slicer. This is like 2 gears into one. It's spring-loaded, so you have to put a bolt in that hole right there. Second of all, if the camera will focus on it, come on. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to put something on the screen to show you that you see them 2 dots on the cams right here, right below my finger. Them 2 dots, they have to be lined up right, or the cams will not come out if you're not lined up. And luckily, I've seen some people that did this job and theirs was off a tooth. Luckily, mine are together. And that's another way you'll know you have the timing right. 1 o'clock and the intake is off. This is probably the hardest part, getting this through the wiring harness and the fuel rail. Very aggravating. You have to, this little Y hose, you have to pop one of the hoses off because the fuel rail runs under it. And also the heater hose here, I took it off at the top because it was too much to get down to this bottom piece. Besides putting them back together, make it easier like that too. I had to pull the accessory bracket, the one for the power steering and the alternator off to get to my tensioner, which is that right there, because then that bolt right there and the bolt right there, you have to let that loose to let the tension off the belt. It's the next day. I started at 10, is now 10:45. Took me probably 45 minutes to get the exhaust off and a couple other things. I don't remember what I did. But now it's time to pull the timing belt off and start getting them cams out and pull the head off. just pulled the timing belt tensioner off. Now we got slack in our timing belt, and the way it works, the piece comes in here and it pushes this back and forth to tighten the belt. But anyway, it's loose now, so I'm gonna find a way to get the belt off the gears without it slipping on the bottom and clamp them together, and hopefully, finger crossed, it works. All right, guys, you know it barely fit between the radiator and the thing. I used an impact to break the cam bolts so it wouldn't turn the motor over. And another, if you don't have an impact and you have to do it with like a breaker bar or something, there's bolts back there. You can slightly turn the timing gears to where you can put like a socket on the bolt and then use something to break it. But best bet is to use an impact, because it won't make it move at all. It'll just break the bolt. It won't try to turn the motor over. All right, guys, so we got off so far, and I've got the belt down there clamped. Hopefully we didn't jump a tooth. Hopefully don't jump a tooth and put it back together. But if we do, it's not the end of the world. That's why we put marks on the belt. But on the back side of this gear, about right here, there's 2 1 dots lined up. And then on the gears out here, 180 degrees from there, there's 2 dots lined up. So we have to turn, when we take both cylinder heads off, before we take the cams out, we have to turn, take us a wrench, like this right here. Take a wrench and turn the cams 180 degrees so the lines line up. Also, we have to put not this hole, but there's a hole at the bottom. We have to put a service bolt in there so the spring-loaded sub gear doesn't come off track. And also, you know, just remember when you put it back in, to put back the gears lined up, 2 on this side, 1 dot on this side, and then you have to turn them at 180 again for the timing to be right. And also, you'll know by your pin right here, that is top dead, or you can put your gear back on and see where your marks were. All right, guys, I turned my cams to where the 2 dots line up. Maybe you can see it. And also I put my service bolt in. Do not let the engine turn over for any reason, which is stupid if you let the engine turn over right now anyway, because your timing belt isn't on. But anyway, don't let that belt, or the bolt will actually shear off. And also don't forget to remove that. That's why I use one of the valve cover bolts. It's the right thread, it goes right in, and it sticks out, so it's obvious to see. And also, when you're putting it back together, you might say, oh, where's my timing? I lost the valve cover bolt, and you might remember. But just don't forget that, or you're gonna mess the whole engine up. Be pulling the heads off again. But anyways, now I've got a piece of cardboard right here. I got it marked for passenger head. The front, I'm gonna knock holes in it and put the cam caps, the bolts, through the cardboard, so I'll remember which orientation it went. And I'm gonna break it. You can look up the chart. I think it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. All right, guys, ignore the charcoal canister venting gas fumes. But we got the cams out. We have a back here in the back, it's that right there, that's an 8mm Allen head bolt you have to remove, and then the rest of it's cam bolts. They're all 12 point. So you have to use a 12mm 12 point socket on all them bolts, and then you have an 8mm Allen in the back, and that's all it's holding the head on. Got the head off, and the cylinder, the holding and stuff look good. On this side, on the 3rd cylinder, we had a blown head gasket. If you can see right there, that crack right there, and there's many cracks. It was easier to see what was on the head, or on the block. But yeah, it was cracked in 3 or 4 different places. Pretty bad crack. I'm surprised, because it wasn't really showing that much signs. This is where we're at now. Last thing I did a couple days ago was took the exhaust manifold off, and I've been kind of just leaving it as it is since we figured out it's cracked head. Luckily, I know somebody that's got a couple of these engines. They got a couple of heads. They said they'd sell me one for $100 a head, so it's a good deal. So I'm gonna go do that. At some point, I'd go pull one of those. But for now, I'm gonna take this head off because I want to do head gaskets on this side. Done got this far, why not? And we may find more issues on this side. Hopefully not, but so I got the manifold off, so now it's just time to pull the cams and the caps and pull the head off. Motor's looking super tiny now. I got the head off, and the head gasket doesn't look blown anywhere, which I want to change it anyway, besides just the rear cam seals are leaking oil, so I had to pull the head off to do those anyway. Yeah, the cylinders look great. No kind of impacts. I haven't looked at the head yet, but even the head gasket looks fine. Currently, I have $0 in it so far because I haven't even bought the seal kit. I'll probably order that tonight or tomorrow or something. Because I'm not really in a rush or anything. And then I gotta go get the heads. That'll be $100 each. And no, I haven't broken anything except for my AC plug. The wire pulled out of it. That's a $10. That's $10 to fix that. Anything else I need, I already have. So it's gonna be about $300 to get it fixed, which isn't terrible. It's a lot of work. It took 8 hours to pull both the heads off, and probably about 8 hours to put it back together, I would say at least. This is our new head. Just put some brand new valve stems in. Now it's time to pull the valves out of the old head and put them in this one. It's pretty cold today. This is for the boys. But that's not stopping us. About to put the head back on. I tried to get the cylinder wall somewhat clean. You know, you have debris, and I just clean, scraped, lightly sanded top of the block. And I'll show you the heads. We got them pretty clean. Here's one of our heads right here, our new one. And we got it pretty clean, baby smooth. Only thing I have to do is change these seals out on both of them. Quick tip for the head gaskets to know which way they go on is if you look back here, this one head gasket will have a hole here, one will be sealed. That's because if you look on the block will be solid here. And then, because the heads are the exact same, they're just flipped around. And on this side, you have a water channel right here, and then the other gasket will have a hole in it. Got the head gasket on, changed my donut seals, both sides. Also put the new gasket, the manifold gasket in, and I hit this with a pressure washer one last time. When it dries, we'll put some oil in it, and then we'll sit it on the engine. One head is on and torqued. All I gotta do now is put the cams in that one, and it's, you know, be done. And I got this right here. The head's ready to go on this side. All I gotta just throw the gasket on and put the head on. Also, for the torque spec on these, you torque them to 25 foot-pounds, then you do 2 90-degree turns. All right, guys, getting dark and cold, so we're about to call it a day. This is what we got done so far. Both the heads are on, valve train cams are in. Just got the intake on, haven't even torqued the bolts or anything. Heck, didn't even snug one of them yet. So that's where we're gonna leave it off today. Fingers crossed, might fire it up tomorrow. Just took my spark plug center seals out. They've seen better days. 2 hours later, that's what it's looking like. Got the belt back on, had a second hand for assistance to hold down here to keep tension on. Last thing I just did is put my tensioner back on. Fingers crossed the timing didn't slip off on the bottom. I don't think it did. But thinking is not always right, so we'll see. Let's get the intake on and we can fire it up.
Yep. A literal cold star. Yo. That's crazy.
The old 4Runner missed out on its chance, especially with that E-locker. Well, it missed its once in a lifetime opportunity to get some snow. Oh well. I would say maybe next time, but we'll see if there's a next time. snow is everywhere, but that didn't slow me down. I got the engine put back together enough to run. Timing's right. Fingers crossed. First fire. Cold start. First time I heard that noise in a while. We're gonna prime it up. That is such a relief. Had a dead battery issue besides that, and also a hose, a fuel return hose I forgot to hook up on the back here. Was draining a little bit of fuel. Besides that, everything went smooth. I was actually impressed. You know, when it starts up, of course it was sputtering. You know, you got oil, all kinds of crap in the cylinder. You know, not ideal, just gunk. So I'm surprised it started to run decent quicker than it did, or as quick as it did. For now, I just need to get some coolant. I'm going to town right now to get some coolant. And then I got to put all my accessories back on. I did, if I can find the wire right here, I did break this wire here. Somebody had already repaired it. Anyway, when I was pulling the clip out, the AC switch broke off. The AC, I need a new switch. It's like 10 bucks. I'll fix that later on. Definitely don't need AC right now. But besides that, you know, alternator, power steering, AC, all that good stuff. I don't even remember how that went together, where the bolts are. We'll figure it out. Let's go get some coolant. All right, guys, big tragic. We're selling the 4Runner, hopefully tonight. But do a little walk around, the last look. This is how she's going. Give you that last look. All my junk's out of there, hopefully. I'll check again. And if for some reason he backs out, then you won't see this video. That's her. And if you're new here, this is my 1996 4Runner Limited 4-wheel drive with a rear e-locker, sitting on a 5-inch lift. I have a max speeding lift with a 2-inch buck stacked on that, with 2 to 4-inch lift and uppers with a diff drop. It has electric seats that are cooked, sunroof. It has 341,506 miles, 4-wheel drive, dog leg, push button activation for the high, dog leg for the low. AC and heat works. It's got the back window rolls down. I think all the 4Runners do that. It's got ECT power mode. Here's the back, and it's not clean. I didn't have a chance to clean it. I just got the motor put back together in it. The interior's not terrible besides the front seats, which kind of may make the whole thing look bad, but it's dirty. So get some new door panels and some front seats, and it's okay-ish interior-wise. It's all here. I will give you guys a little cold start. Yeah, the motor's cold. And it runs really good now. No check engine light. Go for a little drive. Everything works on it. It needs a couple little odds and ends. Nothing major. The biggest thing would be one of the CV axles. The boot is busted on it right now. But I would suggest replacing the whole CV axle with extended ones, which the supposed buyer is supposed to already have some. Put your guess down below how much you think I'm selling it for. Transmission shifts smooth as it possibly could. Four-wheel drive locks right in. E-locker works. AC and heat work. All the windows work. Sunroof does not open. And that is it. Maybe I'll get some footage of him driving away or something, or maybe during the test drive. I don't know what I'll do, but stay tuned to see what happens. I'm thinking if for some reason he gets here and backs out, he's a very serious buyer. Talked to the guy a bunch. He had the exact same 4Runner, the same year. The body, the paint and stuff even looked better on his, but he had some rust issues, he was saying. And so he's got more than enough parts to fix the little issues it's got, like the CV axles. He's actually got 2 extended ones he just bought, and he's got wheel bearings, and he's got all kinds of stuff. Tie rod, he's got the whole front suspension basically, and he's got a whole parts truck. So a very serious buyer. We've already set up a price, so there is no reason for him to back out. But if for some reason he does, I'm thinking about just keeping it because it just runs so good now. In the comments down below, comment how much you think it's worth, how much you think I'm selling it for, and how much you would pay for it. If it was me, I would pay $2,500 if it had TSL boggers on it. And I would sell the boggers for $1,000, so I'd have $1,500 into it, and then probably put $1,000 into it with lift and mods. Your thumbs might be sore, but last thing, guess how much I have into it?